What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Exploring Our Waterways Tech tutorial. Do your buttons on your handlebar feel tacky after being exposed to the elements over some time? If so, I have a solution for you guys. Trust me, I've looked all over the web. I looked on YouTube. I could not find anything other than replacement buttons for these machines. But guys, fortunately, I have a solution that worked for me. And it may just work for you, so stay tuned. So you may be asking yourself, why are my buttons sticky over time? How did they get sticky? So here's how it happened to me. Dropped off the skis at the dealership for some service. They sat outdoors for about a month or so. When I got back both skis, both buttons on each ski were completely tacky to the point where if I would go ride and I wanted to control my music or maybe adjust the trim, you could literally feel your finger sticking to the button. So why does rubber do this? Well, natural synthetic rubber literally starts out as a very sticky substance. To turn that raw material into the rubber we all know and love, you have to put it through a process called vulcanization. This involves heating the rubber with some other chemicals which molecularly transform the rubber from sticky to stretchy. That's how they make these buttons. So what ends up happening is over time, being exposed to sunlight, heat, and all the other elements, the rubber itself wants to go back to its natural state. Now, I know we're not a science channel, and you're probably wanting me to just stop talking and show you guys how to do it. So let's get on with how to fix the sticky buttons on your Seadoo or other personal watercrafts. So what are some of the things that you're gonna need to do this project? The first thing you're gonna want is you're gonna need some cotton swabs. Next, you're gonna wanna get yourself a can of Goof Off. Goo Gone also works very effective as well. Last but not least, no, I'm not kidding, you're gonna wanna get yourself some Neutrogena makeup remover. So how do we bring this all together to fix our sticky mess on our controls? Step one, you wanna take your Goof Off and you wanna take your cotton swab and you're gonna wanna spray Goof Off to the cotton swab. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not using a rag, right? A rag would technically make more sense, gives you a little bit more coverage area. The thing is this, right? You don't wanna be too harsh on the buttons as it could potentially eat away more of the rubber, and you don't wanna do that, right? Number two, just a warning, if this gets in contact with any of the black trim or paint on your ski, you're gonna have some stains. So you're gonna wanna avoid spraying this anywhere outside of this cotton swab. Last but not least, we're gonna use this makeup remover to remove any excess rubber-like or sticky-like substance that's on each button. And this is essentially your final step when you do this process. So now, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna actually go over to the button and highlight how to do this process. You guys ready? So step one, we're gonna take this and we're gonna spray it onto the cotton swab. Just like that. Again, do this at your own risk, guys. I don't wanna be held responsible if you make a mistake, if you damage anything. So again, you're assuming all the risk. However, the one thing I will say is the worst thing that can happen is you have to buy new buttons. So why not give this a shot first, right? For those of you guys that are curious, buttons for each of these skis are roughly about $115 to $120 a piece. If you have two skis like me with the same issue, that's over $400 in buttons. Heck no, I needed to find a way to do this. I couldn't find anything online and I am so excited that I get to bring you this video and hopefully save you guys a couple $100 as well in the process. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna show you guys how to do this. Soak up the cotton swab really good. Next thing you wanna do is you wanna go to your buttons and you wanna start. And I do a circular motion around each of these buttons right where you press. And what you're gonna start seeing is that some of that tacky material or sticky material that you feel is gonna make its way onto the cotton swab, and I can show you. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but you can kind of see where that is starting to essentially pick up all of that tackiness and stickiness. And ultimately what you wanna do is you wanna keep going. Cotton swab feels dry, so let's spray a little bit more. You want to make sure that you're super careful in this process, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to touch the paint on the handlebar. I kind of did it on one of our skis the other day. Then I ended up having to buff everything, and just don't do it. It's a pain in the butt if you do. But as you can see, all of that crappy, nasty, sticky material is ultimately making its way onto the swab itself. Figured we'll get you guys a little bit more up close and personal with what I'm doing here, so you guys can see. The more that you do this, as long as you're not too harsh on it, you'll notice there's going to be less and less residue on that cotton swab. I already started to work through this a couple times earlier. Depending on how bad your buttons are, it could take a little longer. I mean, I probably spent a solid 10-15 minutes on each one, so make sure you give yourself enough time. But as you can see, I mean, for the most part, it's looking pretty good. I wish I had a before picture to show you guys, or video, because you could literally like stare at this. If you were really close, you could see that sticky substance almost as the top layer of the buttons. And now, as you guys can see, the button is getting fairly smooth for the most part. What I love about this is if you take your time, you could see that the letters are still there and easy to read, so it's not like it's wiping off any of the lettering. As a final step, you want to take your Neutrogena makeup remover, and you just want to do the same thing, little circular motion. Now this here so far seems to be okay on the paint. I've already tried it, so this is not as harsh. So that's why I also like to use this. I mean, if it's safe for someone's face, it's got to be safe for paint, right? You would think. So then we'll just clean that up really good. You can see there's really not much residue left on there. We pretty much took a lot of it off with the cotton swab. And look at that. There you have it. I mean, it's almost as good as new. Hopefully you guys can get a really good view at it. As you can see, there is no more stickiness to it. Now let me dry the Neutrogena has like a little like lotion like thing on it, so, but oh wow, no more stickiness here, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, if you did, smash that like button. Also, please consider subscribing to our channel, guys. We got plenty of other how-to videos already uploaded. We have several new ones on the way. Also, of course, we wouldn't be exploring our waterways without showing you guys and taking you guys on our waterways adventure. So please consider subscribing to our channel. Last but not least, if you are having this issue and you do decide that, hey, I want to give what Ray just showed me a try, come back, drop it in the comments below. Let us know your feedback. Did it work for you? Thanks so much for the love and support. Thank you for watching another Exploring Our Waterways tutorial, and we'll see you guys on the water.